Again your VS Code, and we'll see how to get the data from out of the project from any other URL. So hook 7 component will create hook 7.js. The hook 7.js will help us to bring the data from other source, not within the project, like www.xyz.com. Okay. 8 minutes, it's loading. Next file to create hook 7.js. New file hook 7.js. Import get comma use state comma use effect. Use effect from React. Next, after that, constant hook 7 export default 7. Return region one React use state use effect, use state, use effect, page function, PI example. Now we should call this file in the app.js. Just let's do the linking part. Import part we can complete. In app.js file, imported hook 7, hook page is loading. Hook 7. Keep a link called API to my hook 7. Coming down. Quickly we can add the link here.
Second position.
Position can be anywhere. Not necessary sequence. You can add anywhere. Here also menu you can create any. API to page is loading. Okay. From there under the hook 7 file. Keep little align center. It will look more valuable. In the center. Now first we'll understand the use effect. How the use effect work. Use effect is the hooks function that will get called automatically. Use effect is the hooks function that will get called automatically without on page load. You can say on page load, it will get called automatically. Which one? Use effect. Now how to call that? Use effect. The way of calling is little different. The use effect itself is a callback function. keep inside the alert. Alert call loaded. Check now. As soon as your page will reload, first use effect will call. First, this function will call. Okay. Automatically your page will get called. This use effect function will call automatically on load. See, alert came. No? If you go to other component and come back, automatically alert will come on page load. That we are going to use that. In a study example, you have seen last class example. Data was coming here on click. Data was coming how? On click. We want to make it automate. When the page will load, data should come. The function should get called automatically. So for that, we have this one called which one? Use effect. Now see, what we are going to use of the use effect, something like this. A const get maybe something user, get user equal to arrow method. Now alert you keep here. User is working. User is working. Okay. And at this place, I will remove this function alert and I will call here call get user. Check once. It will call automatically. User is working. User is working. On load, it will say user is working. It will say user is working. So that meaning user function is our function and our function we hand over to the predefined function. Predefined function will call and in predefined function, our function will get called automatically. So what is the use of the use effect? Use effect will call automatically on load. On component load. Whenever the component load will happen, automatically use effect will get called. Okay, we will answer the same way in interview also if anyone asks what is the use of the use effect. Use effect is the predefined function. It's called a hooks function and it get called automatically on page load, on component load. Okay, both words we need to say on page load and on component load. So person will understand, he know the on page load meaning what is that. Okay. Okay, so next, now under the get user, we will write the API and API will get called automatically. Use effect is calling, use effect will call the function, function will bring the API. On load, you will get the data, no need to click anywhere. Let me go here now. First, you have to create a variable, constant variable called user list. User list and one more function called update user. And use state here and via use state make this one something like this and get it ready. Okay. So user list is an array, update user is a function, and array is empty array by default. Go here. Write here fetch function. Inside the fetch function, I will give a URL. First get this comment. Okay, but it will be wrong. User only we need to load, because variable and everything we are given as a user. So we should load here user itself. JSON placeholder dot typecode.com/users. You can open this URL first and check what is coming in that. We can open this URL and then we can check any data is coming in that.
Yes, sir.
We are getting a lot of data.
Yes, sir.
500 comments will come in that. Somewhere 500 records will come in that. Okay. Now let us go. Let me show you the URL. It has a lot of data. In this, there will not be 500 records. In the users, there is a 10 records only. Here we'll have 10 records only. Comments has 500 comments. In this, only 10 users. So it's a very good nested array. First, address, phone number, company. See how many arrays are there? Nested array, 3 nested array. Array inside array. So it will give very good practice. Come now. So we have called here that URL. Now after that, we need to call here then function, because that API is giving the data in the form of JSON. Capture under the response variable. Response.json you can do. Then it will give you the user array. User array. This user array, where we want to send? Update user, correct? In update user, we need to send the user array. So update user will have data. As soon as data will come in update user will pass to where? User list. Come down below and print the total users. How many we are getting? Total users are user list dot length. User list dot length. Align center we can keep. Align center we can keep.
So here text align center will not work.
How it will work? Text align is the property of CSS.
Yeah, that inline CSS must.
Okay, hope check now. Getting the length. How many? Okay. You should get the length as a 10. See, total users are 10. No need to click on button here there. Use effect will take care of their own work. But use effect has executed automatically. It may be chance the use effect will keep calling automatically. Now it has loaded, we understood you it's happening. We have to apply the break in use effect, else use effect will keep calling automatically. Okay. So how to apply the break? In use effect, last parameter will be in a square bracket as a 1. Else your server will be in the trouble. Use effect will start calling the backend. Use effect will call and it will start calling continuous, infinite. And under infinite, who will call? Get user will call infinite. Get user will hit to this API infinite. In 1 hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, there will be infinite hit to the backend will get stopped. That's all. Okay, some problem, connection pooling, something will happen, backend will stop, and after that, application will be down. So in use effect, we have to apply the break. How to apply the break? Last parameter, square bracket is a 1. Or you can write as a true also. True also minimum. Okay, so this people will not ask what is the use effect, but people will ask how to apply the break in use effect. Use effect call infinite, that I know, but I want it should execute only one time. So we can say no problem. Last parameter in a square bracket keep 1. Only one. Only one. Okay, so we got idea how to bring the data from any URL. So there is no any big trouble. Just give the URL to your fetch function. If the URL is open URL without password, then fetch function will bring all the data and bring it and convert into array. And array you give to your state. A state will come inside the page directly. Now we need to display all the users inside the page. Okay, information of the user we need to display. Before printing the information, we need to understand what are the inputs are coming in that, what are the objects are coming in that. Okay. Hope length is coming. Let's go ahead now. At this place, first understand inside the array what are the input was there. ID, name, username, email. After that, address is the array. Again, inside the array, there is a it's an object. It has again inside the element. Again, there is a geo hat lat lang, and then phone number, website, and then company the address, and here. Okay, I'll guide you how to access all the elements from the array. Okay, so similar way, when we work on the React project, company will give the work to some backend developer, and they will write the URL in Python, Java, Node.js, .NET, something here there, and that URL once you call, it will give the bulk one basket data. Now we have to capture that one basket data and display inside the page in the proper manner. What design the company want. Okay, so this data we capture now. So there what we have name, something, address, maybe company want, okay, display the name, username, email ID, and then full name in the left side, and phone number display in the left side, address display in the middle, and the company display in the right side. Correct, that can be the requirement as well. Let's go then. First, we'll print the following details. College name, username, email ID, phone number, and website. Phone and website. At this place, use the map function right here. User list dot map. Info, user info I can use. User info, comma index. Come return.
So user list is spelling mistake.
Return a division. Return a division. Inside the division, keep H3, S3, print down name, ID, and everything. Printed ID. Print the ID, name, ID, username. H3 we can write here. User info dot what is name. Next in a paragraph, user info dot email. Okay, next after that, user info dot phone number. User info dot phone. What else we have? User info dot what is else? Website. Website. Check now. For the main division, you can apply the key property index. Check now. List of users will appear here. Coming, list of users. 10 users details will come. We can write a CSS and we can keep side by side. I think we have already class somewhere. Where we have book 3 or book 4 or service.
My item.
This one. What is the name of this class?
My item.
My item. Okay, no problem. Right here, class name equal to my item. Class name equal to my item, n will be capital.
Four. No.
Hmm? See in line. Color is not getting applied. Class name is product. Okay. Use any class. Let it come in one line. In one line, 4 blocks are coming. Question, this data is coming from where? So this data is coming from the API. How it is coming from the API? Because we are given the URL to which function? Fetch function. Fetch function is getting executed when the get user will call. Now when the get user will call, one the page will load. On page will load, then what will happen? Use effect will call. Use effect will call the get user. Get user will call the fetch. Fetch will go and bring the data and convert into JSON to array and give to update user. Update user give to user list, and user list you are printing here. So hope this is not difficult.
Sir, in my data is still coming in list form.
Data is coming in.
List, it's not coming side by side.
Class name, what is given?
My item.
Class name, n will be capital.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Sir, without use effect, we can write this.
On button click, you have to call.
Last class.
On button click, you have to call the function. Which function? Get user. Yesterday, last class was the same, no? API to here function was calling. It was bringing the data from API only, but when on button click, it was coming. This is coming on load. Once the page will load, it will come. If you don't want to call on load, remove the use effect and create a button, and button click call the same data.
Sir, why we wrote one in use effect array?
We have asked the use effect to execute only one time. It will
This effect is similar to onload in JavaScript.
same like onload in JavaScript. Not onload. We have an event called onload in JavaScript. So on page load, it will get executed automatically. Once the page will load, it will get expired automatically.
Sir, data is still coming in list form only.
You have class. Have you written this class?
Yes, sir.
What is that class? Can you send this line?
Yes, sir.
Send me this line and send the CSS class name, CSS code. Div class name equal to my item. Where is the my item class in CSS? Check that code and send me once in the chat.
Sir, it's working.
Okay, so let's go. We can call one more array. Okay, so you have printed only the main element. You have not printed the sub element. Now suppose if you want to print the street and city and zip code. So we can print the city and zip code. So how to write? Address dot city, address dot zip code. Simple. We can go here and we can write here. We can write here user info dot address dot user info dot address dot city. Similar way, user info dot address dot pin code, zip code. Zip code. Company dot name. Company dot name. What else? Okay, company dot name is fine. So this all details will be for one user. Okay, all details are coming. Now I will give you one URL. You are going to create a component number 8. In component number 8, you will read the data from my URL and display inside the page is a paragraph simple. That is here. Comment. URL remains same. The last value, last it was user, now we change as a comments. From the comments, you need to print only body. Only body. Only body in paragraph. So we need to create a component that is called component number 7. Yes, create a page as component 7. In component 7, yes, component 7.js, we have to create a component called component number 7, component, not component, hook 7. We have to create a file called hook 7. Already we have hook 8. We need to create a file called hook8.js, and under the hook8.js, we need to read the data from that URL and display inside the page as a paragraph. Return as a paragraph. Okay. And you can follow all use effect, everything you follow, no problem at all. But try reading the data and display the body. Look like possible?
Yes, sir, possible.
Try, sir.
Class question.
So hope going on.
Yes, sir.
Sir, done.
Done.
Yes, sir. Sir, only paragraph we have to print. No?
You can use paragraph, division, anything your wish.
So means we have to print only body. Am I correct? Or whole. So we have to print only body or post ID, name.
Only you need to display the body.
Yeah, done. And users are coming 5.
Done, sir.
Okay. Error.
अरे कुछ नहीं होगा।
Nevavi.
कुछ
One person is stuck here and guide him.
कंपोनेंट नहीं है कंपोनेंट होना है लेकिन कहते हैं ये लिखते हैं
Hook8.js module not found. So check where is the hook8. Hook8 is here. Is available in this folder. Hook8.js, hook.eigst, hook8. Okay, where is the app.js file? Hook8 from hooks/hook8.js.
बड़ा पीस है ना छोटा छोटा पीस करके खाओ
होक8 कहाँ लिंक है? लिंक दो. Yeah. Under the hook only, no problem. Brackets. Project 1. ये प्रोजेक्ट कहीं और बना दिया. कहाँ प्रोजेक्ट में? ये प्रोजेक्ट 1 कहाँ है? इससे कितना प्रोजेक्ट खुला है? प्रोजेक्ट 1 का. ओके. इस के अंदर बुक्स के अंदर ये है. ठीक है, उसके बाद ये कहाँ है? सैंपल app.js, right? अभी नहीं क्या? हुक4 empty है, वो डेटा इसमें हुक4 में रख लीजिए. वो भी हुक्स में है, हुक4 काम करेगा. This one.
So total comments are 500.
Yes, sir.
Done, sir, but it is not in a proper manner.
Proper manner is not matter. Data should load. That is the question. अच्छा, ठीक है, उसको बनाया होगा। Phuket को कमेंट कीजिएगा, कमेंट अभी Phuket को app.js में कमेंट। कमेंट करेंगे तो उन्हें एरर नहीं करेंगे। Okay, so data is loaded, right? You are able to read the data from the source. Next, after that, the main thing is the practice. Okay, if you practice well, then we can manage it easily. If not practice, then we can forget also easily. Okay, so let's take this URLs. Okay, how many URLs? These are user todos. Okay, in that you are going to todos on it, post on it, comments is okay. Okay, so this 5 URL I'm sending in the chat. 245 URL. 5 URL came to your chat. In that you have implemented the users and you implemented the comments. Remaining is todos, then post and then car. Last one, car. It's a different server. Todos, post and then which one? Cars, right? So we need to create the 3 component. We have to create the 3 component and we need to create the we need to create the 3 components. We need to create 3 components like hook 8 you have created. Hook 8 is ready. Now 3 more components you need to create. Todos will go for the hook 9. Hook 9. Post will go to the hook 10. This will go for the hook 11. So this many component you need to create. Read the data from this URL. Now, after reading the data, you can display in the table, you can display in the form, you can display in anything you can display. It's your wish. You can display in division, paragraph, but read the data from this URL and display inside your component. So it will become a very good practice for you. How to read the data from URL and display inside the page. The car.php file is there in the list. Car.php file is there in the list. It has a lot of data, multi-dimensional array, array inside array. You read that and display inside the page. I will guide you to work on that to read the nested array, because inside that there is a nested array. Nested array, like you can say, it has multi-dimensional array inside multi-dimensional array. So that I will guide you how to read nested array and display. But as of now, You can follow these 3 components and display the page. Next, we'll work tomorrow again. We will follow. Tomorrow we will set up a JSON server. This all you are reading as of now. You are not posting. You are only getting the data. You need to learn how to post the data, how to send the data. For that, we will set up a JSON server. There we will write our own API, and there we will post the data. We'll post the data, we'll get the data. Our local machine will become a server. So the server setup task will be tomorrow task. Okay, so let's spend some time. It will be helpful for you.
Try you given one just some practice purpose last time one